Hello and welcome to Scale Car Garage. Well, I know we've got some projects on the go, but I thought that I would take a bit of a detour and take you along with me, if that's okay, to share a piece of scenery on our track that has a bit of a neat story, and certainly enjoyed making it. I think it's kind of cool. I hope you think it's kind of cool, and I'd like to share it with you. So without further ado, let's do that here on Scale Car Garage. I love to refer to online forums, which are incredible sources of information and inspiration. One slot car layout I found and followed set a high watermark for design, construction, and artistry. It was called the Prairie Ridge Road Course, and was a layout that used plastic Carrera track. But its most impressive aspect was its scenery. All of the scenery, landscaping and buildings were designed and constructed from scratch. There was one structure on this track that caught the eye of our daughter and me. It was the track official's hut. This building is typical of the type of structures that were built for this track. It is not only wonderfully constructed, but thoughtfully designed to fit within the time period of the track. So, we decided to build an official's hut of our own for our track. We used balsa of various sizes, and the result is very much a scale building with windows constructed in the same fashion as they would be for a full-size building. A counter and shelves were constructed and added to the interior. And just like the Prairie Ridge hut, we added vertical wooden siding and a flat roof. The only real difference our hut has is that we constructed a sign on the top of the roof. We even built a bespoke chair for the interior of the hut. Once our hut was painted and assembled, we chose a location and placed it on our track. So this is the pit area of our track, lovingly known as Kit's Spa. And as you can see, it's nowhere near complete, but we've built a bit of a vignette. So there are cars in the paddock. There's a flurry of activity with mechanics and drivers, photographers, media folks, and of course our track official's hut. And the track official's hut, I imagine, should be near the entrance of the pits. Although I guess it could also be at the exit, but it's probably one of the nicest structures we've ever built. It really is lovely, and I'll tell you what, why don't we take it off the track, put it on the bench, and I'd love to take you through it. Anyway, why don't we do that right now? Well, as you can see, our official's hut is very much a tribute to Brad's official's hut, and it was done with the utmost love and respect, because I really would urge you to see his postings on forum, specifically Slot Forum. His track was just a work of art, and Dave of I guess it was a Palmer Divide Raceway was also inspired by him. I'm sure we're not the only folks, but our daughter was so taken with what Brad had done with his track, and she loved his hut, which is why we built this one together, and honestly tried to be as close to his as we possibly could. So as you can see, the three front windows, there's a figure sitting in there, a monogram figure. And let me just rotate this for you, because the thing that we both really liked about Brad's hut was the split rear door. Like, isn't that? And of course, we had to make ours with working hinges. The hinges actually work, both the bottom and the top. And I hope you can see this, but it has a bit of a ledge just like Brad's. We honestly tried to do our best with this. And the detail that he put inside his hut, phenomenal. And we tried to replicate that as well. And the best way to see the detail is by removing the roof. So we made our roof removable, just as Brad did. Now I think we still have some details to add in this, but it's actually pretty close. So let's take off the roof and let me take you on a tour. It hasn't even been put onto its base properly, so my apologies, but the roof comes right off, and there's the inside. And on the inside you can see the official at his desk, on his chair, with magazines that we actually scaled down and printed out. Very exciting. There's the shelf that Brad put for the radio equipment. And well, anyway, you can see how we also painted the inside as he did, in white, and the outside in kind of a gray. One of our daughter's favorite parts of this was actually the chair that we constructed for the official, and she insisted that it be painted the color that it's painted. So really pleased about that. But as you can see, the door here, the hinge is actually, we got that from a model airplane and it's actually made of nylon, because I think the model airplane was supposed to kind of fly, but still it works. And the half door closes, and there we go. And you can close the full door, but it's kind of nice to have it half open. The structure, well, it's as close as we could replicate to what Brad did. And as you can see, rotate the front, it still has to be adhered to its foam core base. And honestly, I don't think we should have a foam core base, because I think it needs something that's a little more rigid, although I think it looks kind of good, even though it's not particularly strong, but it's light, and well, maybe we'll leave it. What the heck? But there we go. That's the whole official's hut. And what I really enjoy is the fact that you can actually take the roof off, as you can see, and we put the structures here for the sign, and it goes back on like so. So there we go. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this little sort of sidebar of one of the pieces of scenery on our track that we not only enjoyed building, but also every time we look at it, we think about how wonderful it is for all of you folks out there who really inspire not only us, but other people as well. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. And I hope you like this, and I hope it inspires you to perhaps build something similar for your track, or your whatever you're working on. Anyway, I'm blubbering. Thank you so much for joining us for this little, well, tribute to another really good modeler. And well, we hope we did it justice. So thanks again for joining me here on Scale Car Garage.
I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.